Let's talk about what Kyle Shanahan said yesterday at OTAs. Got more questions about Jimmy Garoppolo, and well, you tell him what he said.
Well, he basically said that the plan is to trade Garoppolo as long as they get what they want. I mean, that's what he kind of intimated. So, and I think the second part you say that people buy you, but maybe who knows? Maybe they had some deal worked out. It did sound like he referenced, hey, we were going down this road trade wise, and then the shoulder surgery happened, and it kind of put a pause on everything. So does that mean that the same team that they maybe were close to moving him to at that point is still the same team that has interest in trading for him at this point? Or does that mean they're going to release him right before camp? We don't know, but I would imagine it's one of those two.
It's amazing how adamant they are that they're going to trade Jimmy. They keep like, the plan is still to trade Jimmy, like as if there's a market for Jimmy. So to me, I feel like I don't know. Tell me if you think that they're going to be able to pull this off, but if they say they're going to trade Jimmy, couldn't they do something like say it's a pick swap? You give me your 6th round pick. I'll give you my 6th round pick, and we'll pick up some of the salary just so we could say we traded him. I mean, is that what's going to happen here?
I think their magic round, Grant, is that 5th round. I think that's the round they've had a lot of success in. I think that. I think that's the round.
5th round. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think and a 5th round pick on a quarterback is a reasonable price to pay in July for any quarterback, let alone a quarterback like Jimmy, who's done some good things in the NFL. So I would say that they will get they will get something, but it won't be a day 1 pick, it won't be a day 2 pick, it won't even be a 4th round pick. But I kind of think the 5th round sounds to me like the sweet spot. It's all guesswork at this point, but that would be my guess as his value. Maybe a 5th.
If they can get the only thing is the money, because I don't know how many teams really have the cap space for Jimmy Garoppolo this year. So do the Niners pick up some of the money? Is that sort of how they make this palatable?
That could be part of it. Also, couldn't the team that acquires him agree prior to the trade on a restructure?
That's it. That's why I asked you, because you know the league. No, exactly. That's
well, no, I mean those are the options. I think, right? The restructure or the Niners pay part of it. I could see maybe a little bit of both, to be honest. I could see the Niners paying a little bit to facilitate a deal and to get the pick they want, and then the new team saying we don't want to mess with 25 or 27 million, but we'll renegotiate you. We'll give you a 3-year deal and quite a bit less.
Because I mean, there might be a team that wants to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, but the idea of trading for 1 year of an expensive Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't make sense.
No.
I mean,
makes no sense. Nobody's going to do it at this point. Yeah. Everybody, even at the beginning of the offseason, that seemed like far-fetched, but now you mix in free agency, then the draft, all the springtime pickups. Nobody's got $25 million really that they either want or were willing to invest in Jimmy. That would be my guess.
Look, if the Niners find a way to trade Jimmy, I'm only going to praise him. I'm not going to be like, because I still don't see the light at the end I still don't see the light at the end of the tunnel on this one. Because still, like, giving Jimmy Garoppolo an extension means that you sort of kind of want him to be your starter for a while, or at least in the mix. And I'm not sure that teams look at him like that right now. I'm sorry. I know we had a good year last year, but I feel like a lot of people, like the league is kind of down on him, and
it depends on Don Yee's ask. What's Don Yee's ask? Is Don Yee realistic, or is Don Yee totally unrealistic? Is Don Yee selling him as a Super Bowl quarterback that's worth $20+ million? Then I agree with you. But if he's reasonable and says, you know what, we're in the $15 million range, more than a backup, less than your typical primetime starter, maybe there's a market. Maybe there's some interested teams around 15 million. It's hard. It's really hard to envision how it's all coming together, though, dollars wise, because his contract is far greater than his production.
Yeah. Well, I hope the Niners can figure it out. I'm a little skeptical on this one.
You thinking there's going to be a July release of Jimmy, and with the statement, because you mentioned this last time that, maybe, hey, you know what, the spin is, we could have traded him for a day 3 pick, but we wanted to do right by Jimmy, so we released him so he could go to Team X as opposed to team. We'd worked out a deal with Team Y, but in the best interest of Jimmy getting to Team X, that's what he desires. He's done so much for us. We'll release him. I just think that they're more invested and want that pick. I don't think you hold a guy this long unless you decide that there's value there and that you got to recoup some of it. So I think a pick's coming their way.
Yeah, I mean, if Jimmy asks to be released, and I'm not sure he would. It doesn't seem like really his style. He keeps everything private. So maybe the 49ers really would just hold out for a 5th round pick. If that's what happens, I wonder how fans would take that. Like that all of this culminated in a 5th round pick, and it did cost them the opportunity to sign other free agents.
Yeah. I think it's almost directly related to how Trey Lance plays. Because then all of a sudden now, especially if you do it in July, there's literally going to be days between when it starts, when they can actually see him on the field or hear reports out of camp, just days after, he's anointed the starting quarterback and they move Jimmy off the roster. So at least there's not a big ramp up period. There's not a lot of waiting time. So if there's some pain with the fans, they at least can be appeased as soon as they see Trey doing his thing if he's playing well.
My one concern here is that the 49ers overestimate Jimmy Garoppolo's trade market yet again, because I feel like they've been doing it for a few years. And if they don't trade him because they don't get that magic 5th round pick, will they cut him or will they bring him into camp, which you think is insane, which kind of is insane. I mean, having him wear the jersey again, take an interview, put your team through that. Is that going to happen? I almost feel like it will. So I guess prove me wrong, please. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen.
It's hard to picture because they're not going to let him on the field without a renegotiation, but is he going to be open to a renegotiation? And then, as you said, a renegotiation guarantees future years. They're not going to want to be on the hook for future years. So something tells me it's not even going to get to that. It's going to be a trade before camp starts.